Okay, so, despite the challenges we're facing, despite where we are on the African continent, one of the reasons that we have weathered the storms in the ways we have is because of the notions of solidarity and reciprocity and Ubuntu that our societies are founded on the African continent. And so, and how does this play out? This plays out in everyday traditions and practices of giving. This is not giving that happens after you think about what do you have and what is access. This is given that is embedded in daily life, given that is reflected in practices of people helping each other as they're going about their daily life, and it's built in. And I like to call this embedded giving, and I think African women have been at the cornerstone of this giving. If we think about the go-go's who go and help bathe newborn children because young mothers are so tentative to, if we think about the group of ladies who always come and sit when there is a funeral, or who go to bathe the deceased bodies. If we think about the ways in which women are helping and contributing through our stokvels and our susus and all of the different communal solidarity and giving mechanisms that we have, you will see that these are the kinds of things that have helped our societies to cope and to manage and to weather the storm, and in places even to thrive. And it goes beyond that. It goes to issues of helping to, of lending assets at time of plowing, of pooling labor. And these are women and men together, right? We're not just talking about men. In South Africa, for example, many men were living away from their families, and women bore the brunt of the burden of looking after the homestead, of looking after their families, of looking after their communities. So I think the examples are immense. The examples are all over, but we don't think about it from the lens of philanthropy. But if we start to examine from a lens of anthropology or social safety nets and sociology, we'll start to identify practices of giving that fit into a lens of philanthropy. And I think we really need to shift and broaden and widen the ways in which we think about our definitions of philanthropy and how we understand the role of women, African women, in these philanthropic giving behaviors. It's time we recognize where giving really happens and what our societies are built on. And I think it's important that we use that framing. And then we also think about our modern philanthropic institutions. And we think about some of the most progressive institutions there on the continent today, and the roles that women are playing in advancing feminist agendas, in advancing intersectional agendas, in advancing analyses of power and how power and privilege play out within philanthropy and the role that philanthropy needs to be played. We see that women are playing such a significant role. They're contributing immensely. And so I think that using both these, the everyday giving behaviors, the role of women within this, the role of women within institutionalized philanthropy, because it's not an either or. Using those as a background, I think, is really, really valuable to understanding how we want to build this Women in African Philanthropy program. And it's really exciting that CAPS is developing this program. It's really important that we start to surface the role women play. It's really important that we start to think about their impact. And impact has to be thought about much more broadly, because it's not just monetary. The ways in which women give are far beyond. They include financial resources, but they're far beyond financial resources. And so I think that this is just exciting and fantastic that this Women in Philanthropy program is developing. And I'm really excited to be a part of it. Thank you.